Son of a... Welcome to this issue of Mad Murphy, where I take a few topics that are pissing me off and simply rant about them. I'm in no way an expert on any of these topics. These are simply my opinions based off of what I've seen, read, and heard, and if anything I have to say angers you, just get over it. If you wish to make a counterpoint on any of these topics, please feel free to email me with the WHP contact form at wellhey.com/contact, or simply add a comment to this video. I will not and absolutely refuse to address any idiot who wants to start a screaming match with me by starting off, including or ending with insults. These are just my opinions, just as you are entitled to yours, so if you want my respect and have a mature debate, then you may want to start off with some respect as well. You ready? Let's dive right in. So you've reached 18, you can vote, you can enlist, or maybe you reached 21, you can drink and gamble. That makes you an adult, right? Fuck no! You've just grown up. After watching many people my age and older, I've come to realize that there's a definite distinction between adults and grown-ups. Have you ever heard someone constantly say, "I need an adult," when they're well over 21? It's one thing to say it jokingly and sparingly, but when it flies out of your mouth whenever you have to make a decision or take responsibility, chances are you're not an adult. You're just a grown-up. What about those that say, "I don't want to adult today"? Any use of the word adult in the form of a verb automatically disqualifies you from actually being an adult, because adults deal with it. Well, they may gripe and complain that it's not their responsibility, but they'll still take responsibility and get the job done. And that's the difference in a nutshell. Grown-ups are kids who just grew up. They take no responsibility, they have no respect for anything, but they legally can do anything they want. Adults deal with it. Shit needs to get done, you call an adult. Shit needs to be dealt with, you call an adult. You need someone to rely on, you call an adult. Think of all the terms you knew when you were a kid. Grown-ups were the enemy because they didn't want you to have any fun. That's because they want all the fun for themselves. Grown-ups were always telling you to do this and to do that because they didn't want to do any of it themselves. Let's face it, nobody wants to grow up. We all want to be Toys R Us kid. They have the best for so much less, you really flip your lid. Think of all the negative connotations you knew about adults when you were a kid. I can't think of any. Grown-ups were the enemy. They were always the enemy. And even today, now that I have grown up into an adult, grown-ups are still the enemy. Here's the easiest way to find out. Say you need something done. Something simple. Something like taking out the trash. Ask someone over 21 to take out the trash for you while you work on something else that has to be done. If there's an excuse, whether it be a TV show or a video game or anything really, then you got yourself a grown-up. Think of something else a little bit more difficult here. Emotional crisis of some sort. Say one of your parents died and you were extremely distraught. An adult will talk to you about it, get the ball rolling, get you to express your emotions so that you can start or continue the grieving process. They will ask what you want. They will empathize. They will be that shoulder you need. A grown-up will avoid you at all costs because they have the emotional development of SpongeBob SquarePants. Let's take something else. Sex. We all love sex. Well, most of us. But ever since the 1980s, anyone who's got a brain in their head has been taking precautions, right? Right. Adults take precautions, whether it be for disease or pregnancy. Adults play it safe because adults have this crazy notion that, hey, if both of us are in our comfort zones, this might be the best fucking sex I've ever had. What a concept! Grown-ups are more about their own naughty bits and rarely take yours into consideration. Don't worry, baby, I'll pull out. Yeah, I'm on the pill or something. I'm sure I don't have anything. I haven't had sex in weeks. If you've heard one or all of these, you ain't fucking an adult. You are playing humpy with a grown baby, and they put everything in their mouths. Slobber on everything, poop their pants on occasion. Ugh, it's a mess. Then you have to get the sheets dry cleaned and then explain to your roommate why it smells like formula and shit in your room. It's just all completely avoidable. The point I'm trying to make is grown-ups are simply not mentally or emotionally capable of handling the things that adults deal with on a regular basis. A grown-up still worries about what he said and she said and how much RAM do I put in my computer so I can play Infernal Zombie 6 and when the next Marvel comic movie is coming out, and they will make the wrong choice over getting a $300 tattoo or paying rent. Cooking is foreign to them, always takeout or drive-through. They don't even ask them what the different settings on washing machines or dishwashers are. For adults, that's just a Tuesday. Pay the bills, clean the kitchen, wash 3 loads of laundry. I have to separate the whites from the darks from the colors, set the dishes to pots and pans because that lasagna was left on the pan last night again. Thanks, Chad! The only thing I will never agree on is making the bed. My mom and dad make their bed. Why? You're just going to get back in it in several hours and mess it all back up again. Oh, you're doing it in case you have company. What kind of company are you having over that you're giving them an intimate tour of your bedroom? Would you like to feel these 1,200 thread count Egyptian cotton sheets, Deborah? I was forced to move out on my own pretty much after I got out of college because my folks were sick of me lounging around and feeling sorry for myself. So they said, get a job and get the fuck out. So I had to figure it out. I had to get a job, already had a car, pay for gas, pay for rent, pay all the utilities, gas, electric, water, wanted cable and internet, then food and luxuries. I smoked cigarettes back then, so that was about $4 or $5 every day for a pack. Then what if I wanted to go out with the guys? I had to make sure I didn't spend all my paycheck because I had to make sure that I paid my rent on time because my landlord was a cunt! It really wasn't that difficult. I just did it. I didn't have any lapses or reason or overdrafts or anything like that. I just made it happen and still lived fairly well on my own. Now, getting me to clean, that's another story, but I did do it when the stink got really, really bad. And that's the long and the short of it. Adults just do it. Grown-ups make excuses why not to do it. Adults deal with shit. Grown-ups complain why they can't deal with it. Adults take charge. Grown-ups dodge out of the way. Last year I went to my 20th high school reunion and actually had fun. Everyone asked how I was doing and what I was up to, and I told them, hey, got a house, 2 kids, serious income, doing this thing on YouTube, it's great. How about you? Living the dream. I heard that at least 5 or 6 times, and always from the guys in my graduating class that were the most popular, the jocks, the high rollers. After the 6th guy said to me, living the dream, I stopped him and I asked, what dream? He stopped. I said, I've heard that from a few other guys tonight, living the dream. What is this dream? I am genuinely curious. He stammered, no one holding me down. I'm in charge of my own life. The dream. I gave him a sad smile because I knew exactly what he meant. No relationship, no kids, crappy apartment, dead-end job, goes out every night drinking and partying, has no responsibility to anyone but himself. Wow, and at 40, yeah. What a dream. I remember a scene from Uncle Buck where John Candy has a moment of realization, where him and all of his friends were out drinking and he was still the swinging bachelor, and they'd always say, Buck, you got it made. No wife, no job. You were living the high life, man. Funny thing is, 10 years later, none of them are saying that anymore. We all have to grow up sometime. But that doesn't mean your inner child has to stop living. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at me! I'm the perfect example of that. I take responsibility for my own actions. I hold down a fantastic career with a promising future that has medical, dental, and vision, a 401k, so I'm saving for when I retire. Stock options, we have a family accountant. I have a nice house in a nice neighborhood raising 2 fantastic kids, and still, I act like a complete dork at the drop of a hat because life is too short to take everything too serious. You can do both. It is possible. This is what I tell my son all the time. We have to do what we gotta do before we do what we want to do. And that applies to everyone. Take care of the important stuff first. The fun stuff will wait for you, and good things always come to those who wait. If you stuck around this long, I want to thank you for letting me air out my grievances. And believe me, I got lots of them, so I'm just going to close out with the usual. It doesn't matter what your religion is. I think we can all believe that treat others as you wish to be treated is a pretty decent rule to live by. So why don't we all just stop the fighting and just treat others the way we would like to be treated? You can never have too much of a good thing, unless it's beer, then drink responsibly. I look at all of my friends and fans as younger brothers and sisters. I'm not yelling simply to yell. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes I have. So if I go off on you individually, it's because I see you're about to hit that point where you're going to turn into me, and we cannot have any more Murphys. The world can barely tolerate one. If you missed any of this Mad Murphy issue, the transcript will be posted on WellHey.com, so stop on by and enjoy the insanity. If you have a suggestion of a topic you'd like to hear my opinion about, you can let me know in the comments or at wellhey.com/contact. As always, you can catch me and say hi on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube. This is Murphy 1976 of WellHey Productions, where we bring you colorful insanity to your drab, uneventful lives.